Hey, yo, everyone. I have to go see if the thumbnail uploaded to YouTube properly because it's not showing in my YouTube. And then also post that we're live places. I know it's been like approximately 8 years, 8,000 years been, since I've hosted a Sam's Workshift, but the migraines, they were my teeth. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Well, YouTube Studio on my phone is like, this doesn't exist, so that means I have to check it on here. Hey Hazel, how you doing? Hope everything is going well. What will you be working on today? I will be critiquing for Fox. I was working on this, and then the summer got busy. I'm on page 15 of 41, so hopefully we'll get some nice progress on that going. YouTube Studio. Before that, it does look like I gotta do some setup-y things. Yeah, I don't know why the thumbnail isn't there, so I will have to add that. I'm good. I will be working on His Immortal Majesty. Ah, yeah. How's that going? You're drafting it or are you outlining? I think you're drafting. I can't remember if you're an outliner. Not sprinter. Oh my gosh, I forgot the term for those who don't outline. Ah, you could help my brain out there. That would be awesome. It's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to look it up in a second after I fix this thumbnail, because the thumbnail thing is bothering me more. Because I know that I did it. And it's just like, nah. Rewriting it actually, but yes, I am an outliner. Cool. I'm glad I remembered that, at least. We will be plugging in the mouse for this because our thing is just not cooperating. Oh, now you cooperate after I threatened to undo the key. It's fine. I need the mouse more today anyway because it's not a writing day, it's a critique partner day. So yes, download me that thumbnail for keyboard. It's also August, therefore the start of my birthday month. Also, today is my cousin's 30th birthday, which after me, he's the next oldest, and then it's like there's me, and then 4 years, and then him, and then bam, 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 bam. So as of this year, I will have a cousin and or sibling turning 30 every year, and I am very amused by this fact. I asked him how he felt because I saw him over the weekend, and I was like, I just realized you're turning 30 next week. How does it feel? And he goes, old. And I'm like, you're a brat. Hey, cool gamer. Oh, I thank you. We will be having a birthday bash on the 26th. Me and Matt, because we share a birthday. Hey, Rowan. All right, our first sprint. I'll see y'all in 45. And again, let me know what you're working on. Hey yo, and we're back for our first minute, for our first break. How did everybody do? What'd you work on? I started critiquing. Well, I picked up critiquing. Not started. I picked up critiquing at page 15, and I got to the top of page 23, which is pretty good progress, in my opinion. Popping by on the bus back from a field trip. Hope it goes well. Oh, thanks. Hope the field trip was fun. Yeah, it's gonna be me and Matt, and we're probably gonna play a bunch of Jackbox games. Depends on what I set up before then. Hey, CD. Our house is so hot right now that I've slunk out of my room into the living room, which is 15 degrees cooler because of an additional AC unit. I am attempting to find the folder of pictures from the writing retreat. I can grab that for you and send you the link. And then try to remember what I was about to say. Here's the writing retreat folder. Share. Oh, so today I woke up at 6:30, even though my alarm wasn't supposed to go off until 7, because I'm trying to get the kids ready for their for going back to school. And we went out for a walk, and oh my gosh, it was so hot. I was melting. We only went half a street because I was like, I can't do it. And I told my husband when I got back home, and he was like, oh yeah, we're under a heat advisement. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Why today? Oh, I was talking about critiquing, but here the house is so hot, hence for the other thing. I sent you the main folder for writing retreat things. I have to meet this server for 3 hours, so I don't get distracted. But yeah, I'm hoping to, well, depending, because I'm going to tailor my expectations to how much I get done today. But it's 41 pages at the moment. I have been starting a lot of new paragraphs, so we're still at the top of page 41. we're not worried. Where was I? Top of 43. That's where I was. Or 23. There's not 43 pages. But yeah, at this point, it's mostly just a bunch of small critiques and stuff where I fix which version of it's is being used, because fuck if anybody in the world gets that right 100% of the time who's not a professional editor. And just small things here and there that could be worded better and whatnot. I think this is going to go to an editor after this round of critiques. I am unsure. But I'm hoping to finish this either by the end of this week or the end of next week. I will also be taking my shot tonight, so that might kick my ass for tomorrow, which is part of why it might be pushed till next week. But I'm going to try to get this and Wisp one more round of critiques in August. That's my main goal. And then dive into poor Calico's critiques, who has also been waiting on me. Everybody knows, though, summer I just vanished. My husband and I are communicating about dinner. He's going to the gym tonight, And whenever he goes to the gym, he just picks us up dinner on the way home because he wants to spend as much time with me as possible, and therefore he doesn't want me to actually cook, even though like 99% of the time I finish making dinner before he gets out the shower. But I don't gotta cook. I ain't gotta complain. It's like budget-wise, it's the same, pretty much. At least because of what we order. Budget-wise, it's the same. Also, I finished reading Murder on the Orient Express, and I read Lost Sisters by Holly Black, which is like the novella in the Cruel Prince series, which is actually called something of the Airfolk, or the Folk of the Air series, or something like that. Either way, I read and greatly enjoyed The Cruel Prince, and then The Lost Sisters is like a novella that it was labeled 1.5, but like kind of what it does is it summarizes the events of the first book, but from the other sister's point of view. And I really like Holly Black's writing and just the way her mind works for stories. So far, from The Cruel Prince and The Lost Sisters, I've greatly enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to, because I have The Wicked King, but it's August, which means I need to start, and I have started reading my August year favorites, which I have all but one on audiobook, and then the one I don't have on audiobook, my library had All Alone with You. I got that. And y'all should be so proud of me. I'm only behind the other months by 2. I'm behind May with 1 book and July with 1 book. I have to read them physically. This is why I'm behind. We all know this. But I'm very proud. I've almost caught up. And I can binge read everything else in the world. Yes, progress. I'm going to read some WIS. I encourage this because I said I would before school, and that time is running out. Yeah. You should ask him to make sure you have the most updated chapters. I have the second most updated chapters, but I don't have the updated ones. Well, no, because when I read through them, he made some revisions on his end, so. But like, he's added chapter. I would be going through it and critiquing a thing, and so he didn't mess up how things were. He would put like chapter 11.5, which in the next round would be chapter 12. But I'd be like, son of a bitch, just adding chapters here and there. When did you get the chapters? It's, I think it was before summer, before the writing retreat. But like, also, the more that like I read different novels and stuff, the more like kind of experimental things that I see other authors do, I'm like, yes. It's really just do whatever the fuck you want and see if it works, and if it doesn't, just try something else. Because like, I read Simon Snow by Rainbow Rowell recently, and at first every other chapter was, or not every other chapter, but at first each chapter was one distinct perspective And then we got to this chapter where it was like I'm listening to the audiobook while reading the physical book because like I was just feeling off that day and I couldn't really do anything, but I needed something to keep myself occupied. And I happened to have both the audio and the physical book. So I'm reading along in the physical book and I'm listening to the audio book and it's like Simon a couple lines and then what the fuck is the edgy boy's name? I forgot. But it's like Simon and then love interest a couple lines and then Simon a couple lines and then the love interest a couple lines and I was like, damn. She really said, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do right here, but it worked and I enjoyed it. So you get a chapter and you get a chapter. And then very quickly you get a reaction and you get a reaction. And I'm like, you know what? Like I said, just do whatever the fuck you want and then see what works in the end. Because writing is an art. I bring this up because, like, in the latest version of Wisp, there's like a singular chapter from the dad's point of view, and like Fox had been hesitant about adding it, and I was like, I really enjoyed the chapter. I think the chapter is great in that it adds a lot to it. But I wasn't sure from like, you know, the rules of writing. I'm like, I think there needs to be at least 2 or 3. But you know what? No, fuck that. It's fine. I think it's fine because readers are flexible. And as long as it works, it works. We will no longer be held back by the conventions of yada, 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 yada. Oh, my phone has found 48 apps I haven't used in a while. Wants me to remove them. We will see about that. It's getting cold in here, but I know the moment I turn the AC off, it'll get hot. And I don't want to sweat. I have a big blanket. I'll just use that. Yeah. Yada, 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 yada. Exactly. Well, it's only because I'm in this room in specific, in this corner, right in front of the AC. The rest of my house, the air conditioners are not keeping up 100%. Excuse me. Oh, it's 3. I need to make sure my youngest has awoken from her nap. Because I told them they could take a 1 to 2 hour nap, but that was it. Because they need to get up. Like, it's not going to be good for them to go from staying up all night to getting up at 6, 7 in the morning for school. So I'm trying to get them to transition, but they're struggle busing in part because they just go to back to sleep once they're out of my sight. And then they get like pissy with me when I call them out and I'm like, did you just take a nap? And they're like, you know, cheeks are red. They've got that. They very clearly just woke up. And they're like, no. Like, bruh, I've seen you nap since you were born. You napped. The struggle is real. They get cranky. Cranky. During the breaks, I'm also playing my landlord cat game. Trying to upgrade all the desks to high-tech desks now. My parents will ask if I just woke up when I hadn't and had just been existing. Yep, but I feel like there's a shine to the nap face that does not exist. Like it fades away, at least for my children. Well, we are going into our second sprint. So I shall see y'all in a moment. Oh, hey, Paget. Mostly. We're having an okay day today. We are back. I don't know if I ever muted because it does not say that I am muted. I was obviously quiet enough, nobody noticed, so I had not turned my music on this go around. Poor Fox is confused. All right, so this time I started on page 23 and I got to page 33, which is like about 10 pages. And since there are 41 pages in total, that means I got a real shot of finishing this today, knock on wood. So, hey JC, how you doing? What you up to? JC says hi to everyone. Hey Laura, how you doing? What are you up to? I love how enthusiastically JC and Laura always say hello to each other. Also, I'm never going to stay centered because I move too much. No, don't fall into the into the nap zone. It's terrible, especially during the summer. Although I don't think you have any 7 a.m. classes, so you'll probably fine. My poor children. Next week, I'm probably going to have to just keep my children with me all day to keep them awake so that they don't fall back asleep. 496 words, that sprint. Nice. Never discussed with Fox what he wants me to look for, so I messaged him, watched some YouTube, then pulled out my notebook to come up with world building. Nice. Yeah, he like just responded to me, so I assume he's in meetings today, which his favorite thing to do ever. He hates meetings, hates them with a vengeance. Ooh, one of my businesses leveled. Do they have summer homework? No, they don't. They're just elementary, and well, the boys are going into middle now. But yeah, his grown-up job. His 9 to 5, which I think is actually 8 to 6. I don't know. I don't know what his work day. I don't know what his regular work day is versus what he actually works, because they are not the same. Your eye roll. Did you have summer homework other than finding internships? I'm trying not to burp. I'm going to summon a child to bring me some Coca-Cola because we're out of tea. Okay, we are out of the pre-made sweet tea in the fridge, and I don't think my children know how to make me tea in a cup. Have you finished it? Because now my memory may be a little fuzzy on it, but I remember a lot of things, and I would love to talk about the 7 Husbands with Evelyn Hugo. Here's my cup. Can you pour me a little bit of Coca-Cola in here? Okay. Thank you. My poor oldest has become my go-to kid because he's the only one who doesn't whine and grumble at me. I'm no longer sleepy. I'm glad you're no longer sleepy. All right, we'll go give me some Coca-Cola, please, with like 1 ice cube. Also, like, at what point in the book did you potentially pick up that the love of her life was not a man? Because I don't know why, but like after her after her first husband, her first or second husband, I was all like, love of her life's gonna be a lady. I mean, I think I had summer work in middle school and elementary. Oh, I am sorry for you. Also, their school system is actually, I think, if I remember correctly, trying to transition to a no homework model where the only homework that they would have is just like schoolwork that they were not able to complete in school instead of having like additional homework assignments. At least I know that's what elementary transitioned to, because like my older two had homework in like kindergarten and first, but then after, I want to say after COVID, they no longer really had. No, it was 2022, I think. As of the 2022 school year, they just didn't really have. They didn't bring homework home anymore. It was just like sometimes they wouldn't have. Sometimes they didn't finish a worksheet in class, and then that would be their only homework. That's a vital skill they need to be taught. No, they kind of know how. I just don't know that I trust them to make my cup right now. They don't. Their skill is not leveled enough. Ah, oh, it's so good. Oh yeah, that. And let me tell you, I am usually good at like seeing twists and things coming, but that I did not like. Ah, in a vague way, I'm gonna say I knew there had to be a connection, but like what I was thinking was that somehow she was like a daughter that she had given away because of a scandal, or that like the I was gonna say the husband. She had seven. The beard husband, that they were each other's beards, or that maybe like he had donated to a sperm bank or something, and that the reporter was his daughter or something. I did not see the actual thing coming. Yeah, exactly. It's like there had to be a connection, but like no spoiler. All right, I will be as like we will be as vague as possible. What the fuck? Kids these days so lucky. Not until she started talking about her friendship with her. Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, sorry, CB. I typed that out. Yeah. I did not know that anybody. I should have asked before I started saying spoilery things. If anybody here planned to read it. That's on me, JC. You were just following my lead. I saw something floating in my something white floating in my cup, and I was like, "The fuck is that?" The ice cube. It was the ice cube. Oh, see, so you knew that much. My mama read it and told me some things, but I want to read it myself. I just haven't gotten around to it. That's fair. See? I don't know what emoji this is. I wonder if the kids will get more homework in middle school. I am unsure, but I will see, because I do think that the school system as a whole is trying to move toward toward the classwork as opposed to additional the classwork to home. I think the school system as a whole is trying to get rid of the idea of additional assignments as homework outside of like projects that take longer to do, because like there have been studies that show that that doesn't actually help most students. And so because like at home, like the idea, oh, I saw the cry emoji. But like, but the idea is that in the class, if they give, you know, additional classwork and stuff, the teacher's there to help them and to make sure that, you know, like they that they do it correctly. Whereas at if they take the homework home, a lot of parents now either like they don't have time, or they don't actually know how to do it, or they're not as involved as like parents were expected to be involved in. I'm not saying parents are more or less involved now than they used to be, because I'd say it's about the same amount. It's just different expectations as to whether or not those are being met. But I feel like you guys feel me on that. So like it's just better if they do the work where they have the resources to do the work and to get the help for the work. And then like I lost where I was going. Oh yeah, like when I was in middle school, my mom couldn't help me with my math homework. Like my math homework went over her head and stuff. And sometimes when the kids, like when I have to help them on homework, I have to fucking Google what they're doing because it's been like 20 fucking years since I had to do half of that. Right? So yeah, it's just the studies just show that it's better for kids to do classwork in the classroom and then like only bring home the homework if they absolutely need to. And so I think our school system at least is trying to switch to that because they're trying to get like on top of the things. Although they also said that they were going to try to have the school day start later. Wait, no, I remember what happened with that. They were going to have the school day start later, especially for high school and middle school, because there's scientific evidence that teenagers actually need to sleep in the morning. But there was a really big pushback from that on parents because of work schedules. So that sucked. I was looking forward to that. Real quick though, I do wonder if the love of her life could have been Don had he not started to do what he did. Maybe. My laptop died. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, I would go to my big brother for help. I will say this, when my daughter was younger and came home with homework, I always told her I can help with anything except math. I'm not good at math. My mom was like, you need history help? I got you. Yeah, like phone a friend, look stuff up. Also, the teachers do, at least our teachers do Google Classroom now. So you like log into your kid's school Google, and then they have access to the like videos and lessons on it, which helps a lot. What about like writing essays? I mean, I think it's a good idea, but I'm just comparing it to my school schedule where we always ran out of time at the end of every class. I don't know because like the boys are going into 6th grade. So I can really I can only talk about their elementary school, and they wrote essays in class and they revised essays in class. So like my oldest is very proud of several of his essays to the point where like he typed them on the computer and we've saved them to his Google Drive so that he like has them, and he also keeps the physical copy in like this sentimental folder, but his persuasive essays specifically. But otherwise some of that stuff I'm unsure. See, essays involve research, so that needs to be done at home, I think. I think it all boils down to how the teachers are doing it. I look forward to keeping up to date on this as the kiddos grow. I will keep you all up to date on the progression of homework and everything, because that also like dictates how much time I have to dedicate to. Because part of the agreement with me being able to be the stay-at-home is that I am the stay-at-home, so the kids have a parent who is always available to help them with homework. And I know that I needed a lot less time for homework. This year. Yeah. But I do know that see, when they start 4th grade, they start having 2 teachers as a way to sort of like prep them for middle school, having 6 different classes. So that will also be a change that me and them will have to deal with. My teachers would just be like, why didn't you look it up? Did you read the book? Were you paying attention in class? Did you try? Oh no. I had teachers like that. I also had, I'm switching our banners and then I will mute. I I also had my mom would get really annoyed because she would do my homework with me. Like she would sit at the kitchen table while I did my homework in middle school, and then somewhere between the kitchen table and school, the worksheets would disappear, and I would get so stressed because I'm like, I put it in my backpack, but it wasn't in the backpack anymore. Backpack gremlin. All right, see you guys in 30. We are on our final break. I am now on page 41. So I'm almost done. My sister called and I took a moment to like go back and forth. Because I'm like suggesting parts where it's like could be a chapter scene break thing and like what it could be titled to keep things organized. And I was like, I was hemming and hawing. But this means that I will finish it during the wrap-up sprint because I shouldn't take 10 minutes for one page, I don't hope. I'm trying to get back to the comments, but the thing, StreamYard was not loading. Oh, and I said I couldn't. Okay, so your teachers were like assholes when you said you couldn't do the homework. I'm sorry about that. Oh wow, it's fine. I'm not bitter. I'd been like, but aren't you here to, I don't know, teach? Oh, you better than me because I would be. Yeah, probably get in trouble for it, but sometimes like I definitely sassed off to this one teacher, this one substitute teacher, because they were a butt to us. Like we were supposed to be doing a study guide, but the answer to one of the questions on the study guide wasn't actually in our textbook. So I asked if I could like or I asked the substitute if they knew, and they were like, no, it should be in your book. And I'm like, it is not in the textbook. And then I asked if I could use one of the reference books that our teachers had, and they were like, no, it should be in the textbook. And I was like, well, then you find it. So switch to reading, head hurt, sorry. Yeah, CB DM'd me that she stole my tension headache, and that was rude of her. Sacrifice is appreciated, but still rude. 217 words. Nice. So that's what I would have said to you. I only didn't get in trouble because my teacher, when she came back, realized the fuck up and was like, yeah, the substitute could. So she was like, you could have been politer, but the substitute could have helped more. And I was like, write me up. I'd have been like, show it to me. Right? It's like, don't just tell me it's there. Show me where it is. Which, by the way, I am not advocating to be mean or rude to teachers. I am just sharing some of the things that I have done. Also, you may get in trouble or written up. Who knows? Because there's a lot of good teachers out there. There's also some teachers. My daughter and I were talking about teachers. And she's like, she really hated one of her teachers because they would just go off on tangents about their life. And she's like, I don't care. Like, no one cares. She's like, I didn't tell them that. I just like nodded my head and pretended I was interested so that they would get back to the lesson. But she's like, but I was thinking, I don't care. Yeah, you do have to stand up for yourself. At least I advocate for standing up to yourself. As long as it is safe to do so, or you are willing to handle the consequences of your actions. Because I was always willing to handle the consequences. My brain's rebooting. I'm glad I only have one page left, if only because the brain fog is slowly sinking in. Which we did have storms earlier this week, but I also think my shot is just wearing off. So I want to show y'all that on my home screen, I like to put some widgets because I like the little animations, and Duolingo is so done with me right now because I haven't done my Duolingo. I enjoy the little faces that it makes. How much does publishing cost? Ooh, that's a video I will watch later. Sorry, I'm supposed to be looking at weather. That's what I came on my phone to. Yeah, see, it's supposed to be all sunny today and stuff. That owl is Angie. If I miss a day and I have a streak freeze, the owl will then like be frozen with little icicles coming off its head, and then when I do a lesson and thus end the streak freeze, he's like all cozy and stuff by a campfire. I love the widget. It's so adorable. And like the only reason I actually do my Duolingo. 2 days ago, Tennessee trailer tossed by possible tornado. We had a possible tornado 2 days ago? Yeah, right now we've got excessive heat. Oh, it does say there's a chance of a thunderstorm today. But at what time? Midnight. Sounds about right. See, I am a weather witch. I know when all the storms are arriving. But again, I also just think my shot's wearing off. Ugh. I will probably have to eat after the stream because my stomach is starting to grumble at me. I don't know what I want to make. I don't think we have any leftovers for me to be lazy about, so I think I actually have to make myself something. I was going to say something, and it just flew out. Oh, so this month I shall be reading. Currently, I'm listening to Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune, who I have now read 2 books for. And the first book I didn't particularly enjoy because it was very preachy at me. And I didn't like the way it preached at me. And then the second one, I had such a mixed time because I enjoyed the writing style and the concept and the world building, but the way that the certain things happened was very groomery to me, and I was not okay with that. So I was like, ah. But like I said, very mixed feelings though, because like it was a wild difference. Because I read the first one and I was just like, I am not gelling with this writing style at all. But then like I read this one, which apparently I'm pretty sure Wolf Song, Wolf Song is older than the other. I'm not trying to be vague about the other one. I cannot remember what it is called. I'm pretty sure that one's older. I think the other one's newer, the preachy one. But the older one, I really like the older one's writing style and stuff. So I was like, this is wild. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to a third TJ Klune book, Under the Whispering Door. And I'm like, I'm somewhere in chapter 1. And it's, as we all know, I like to go into these completely unknowing as much as I can.
And it's one of those stories where a character is dead, or well, he dies like within the first half hour of the book, and now we're going with him through death, and a Grim Reaper personification is going to walk him through death. And I'm like, I tend to enjoy these kinds of stories, and I'm liking the writing style, and everyone's an adult, so maybe we'll find one that I actually just enjoy with no mixed feelings. Then I also have the Bones House. It's either the Bone Houses or the Bones Houses. I think it's the Bones Houses. Well, hopefully I can read that one this month. I have both the audio and physical books on hold at the moment. All Alone with You, I'm really looking forward to reading that one. That looks like a really cute contemporary romance. Babel, which I like R.F. Kuang's writing. Like, I've read a lot of series by them, and so Babel's been on my radar. I just haven't because it looked thick. But it's here now. And funny enough, the only physical copy my library had was a large print copy, which is 945 pages. But I'm like, well, excuse me, they knew. They were like, Sam needs large print. I will also be reading When a Monster Calls, which I didn't know anything about the book, but I have watched a cinema therapy episode on the movie When a Monster Calls. So I'm not particularly looking forward to this one just because I already know it's sad. And I don't like reading sad. Now, I will put an asterisk here that once I start, I can enjoy a sad novel. I just will never pick it of my own volition if I am aware. So I'm not looking forward to it, even though I think it's going to be a good book. Then we also, by the way, the August theme is family. So these are all like family things. They're either family things or somebody didn't have a favorite family and I went in their bonuses. But anyway, my pick is Kith and Kin, which is the first Critical Role novel about Vax and Vex. So, of course, mine's a reread. And then also, both for the Year of Favorites and for the Nostalgia Train Book Club, I will be reading The Host for the first time by Stephanie Meyer, which, while I think Twilight is a terrible romance, I advocate that Twilight would have been a great horror. Twilight would have been phenomenal as a horror, in my little opinion, based on some of the excerpts and stuff of the way Stephanie Meyer wrote some of it. And I'm like, man, if she just made this a horror, this might have been my jam. But with that said, I'm looking forward to trying The Host because I have already been surprised by one or two authors that I just didn't really know anything about their writing style. So, who knows? I am not going to become a Stephanie Meyer fan, though, because I don't like her as an author because of things she has said in interviews and ways she has gone about handling certain things. But I will see if I think she's actually a good author, well, horror author. Then the two books that I have to read to make up, like that I'm still behind on, is The Blood Race by E.A. Emmons. I broke down and bought this one on the Nook because I could not find it anywhere. I could not find it in the library. I couldn't find it in my library apps. I couldn't find it in my sketchy sites. Nobody's posted it on YouTube. They do that sometimes. Like you can find the When a Monster Calls audiobook on YouTube. Like, I try to go through the library first for everything. I try to go through, other sources, but I broke down and bought this one for $7. It was a fair price. And then also Wolf Cry. And I want to read Wyvern Hail because I will have reread the first 4 of the Keisha series, and I want to read the 5th one as well. So that's my reading plus other things. Alrighty, we're going to our final wrap up. Is this the final wrap up or the final sprint? I don't know. Here we go. We'll see y'all in 15. This is the final sprint. Final sprint is 15. The wrap up talk is 10 minutes. I remember what I did. Okay, here we go. And we are back for our wrap up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I think I've only heard of 3. Oh, actually, maybe I've heard of more than that. This may be the most of the books I've known in a month, maybe. Anyway, I did just finish 2 Agatha Christie's and a Holly Black short story. I think it was a short story. It was 2 hours of audiobook, so I don't know if it was a short story or a novella, but how did everybody do during that final sprint? I gotta take. I'm currently going through the Hercule Poirot series, just because I wasn't sure. Like Agatha Christie wrote so many novels, so I was like, I want to go through Hercule Poirot series first, and I read Lord Edward Dies and Murder on the Orient Express. That's where I'm at. Really, I would just binge all 45 Hercule Poirots, but I am at the mercy of the availability of my library. So some of the books I can get really fast, and then others have really long waits. So I keep at least 5, like I keep at least 5 of my holds reserved for the next 5 Agatha Christie's I need. Yes, thank you. I try. The Year of Favorites readathon has helped expand my eclectic inventory even more. So I like stories and characters, and as long as it's entertaining, I'll indulge in just about anything. And I think that influences things I do in my writing a lot. In a good way. In a good way, I think. Deleted 69 words. Were we revising that sprint? Oh, yeah. Okay. So Lynn is hosting a readathon called the Year of Favorites Readathon. And I think she put out a thing for it in December. I know she posted it like in the Troublemaker server, so I'm sure that she won't mind me if I can find where. There it is. But there's 8 of us, and we like each filled out what our favorite book for each category and stuff. And then we went through and we picked which ones we wanted to read. And so that's why, since there's 8 of us, I wanted to do 1 per person. I don't know. Like I said, I saw it in the Troublemaker server and it sounded really fun to me. So I decided to give it a go. And the readathon only expects you to try to read like 1 person per month. But like I said, I am me, and therefore I picked 1 per person for each month, which is so 8 books a month. Normally, like I was keeping up with it really well until May, and then I worked a lot of conventions and stuff happened, but I'm almost caught up again because I can devour an audiobook like nobody's business. And as long as I can get my grubby hands on the audiobooks, I get through them pretty fast. I am. Yes, I am an overachiever by nature. So, but yeah, I've been really enjoying it, which the list I read earlier was for the Year of Favorites readathon specifically. And then I also, thanks to I started a reading journal. Thanks to the Year of Favorites readathon and Nostalgia Train book club and stuff, these are like the series that I'm trying to get through now. or reread. I know you can't see that. It's a long list. Like, let's see, I'm reading the Hercule Poirot series, but I technically started that one last year. I've read through the Ice Planet Barbarian series, though I'm going to start the Ice Home series, which is a spinoff of that one soon. I reread and finished the Raven Cycle. I want to. Murtagh came out, which is like the Inheritance Cycle has been finished for years, but Murtagh was my boy, and I never actually finished book 4 because my God, did I get bored at the Traveling Army. We didn't need that. We didn't need chapters and chapters of that. But anyway, so I need to reread books 1 through 3 and then actually finish 4 so I can read Murtagh, because that's what I care about. The Locked Tomb, I am at the mercy of the holds for that one, but I've read book 1 of it. Lockwood and Co. Monsters of Verity, that one's a duology, and book 2, my hold just came up. The Kate Daniels series. Everybody's Getting Married is the manga series, that because I decided on a whim to buy myself a manga at one of the conventions I was working, and that one's really cute, so now I need the rest. Thankfully, it's only 9 volumes, because some of the manga can get up there. The Folk of Air series by Holly Black, that's the Cruel Prince series. Gumiho series, that's a duology, so I just need to read book 2. Keishra, I am on book 4 of 5. Emily Wilde, that's an ongoing one. Technically, so is The Locked Tomb. I need to read book 2 for that one, and then 2 onward for The Locked Tomb. Simon Snow, a trilogy. I finished book 1. Ranger's Apprentice, there's like 12 in that one. I finished book 1. Dread Nation, a duology, and then a novella with some shorts in it. Where was I in this? Oh yeah, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I actually decided to give the series a chance because book 1 had so much potential, and really there was just one big thing for me, but if it had been written or executed differently, it would have been fine. So I'm gonna read the rest, see how it is. Like, I was only ever against A Court of Thorns and Roses because it was originally targeted to teens, because it was a YA when it first came out, but it's not anymore. The publisher doesn't market it as YA. Sarah J. Maas doesn't market it as YA on her website anymore. It's all, like, everywhere it's marketed as adult now. So I was like, okay, cool. And I read it. And you know what? She's not a bad writer. I have heard, the biggest critique I've heard of her is her sex scenes, though. So I don't look forward to those. Then the Alex Craft series and Maze Runner. Like, I've never read for the most part, these are series that I've never read, but I have discovered through the year of favorites, with the exception of the ones that I explained. So it has been a very enlightening readathon that I have been enjoying participating in, and hopefully next year I will be able to participate in this one and another. Like, I'm trying to, branch out and stuff in the community, talk to people, read more things. Yeah, I'm rewriting this whole manuscript because of one plot hole back in like chapter 8. That happens sometimes. I should make a list of books I want to reread. Yeah. For the most part, yeah. Like I said, the Keishra series is a reread. I'm rereading the Inheritance Cycle. And I reread the Raven Cycle. And then the rest are all new to me. These are just series that, like, I have started reading this year, or I am continuing this year, because that's going to be my 2024 reading journal, which I will do a TikTok or something on at some point. I'm waiting for my sister's going to order the sticker paper and then print out stickers of all the covers for me. No, not those ones. Though I do like encourage writing down books, because I encourage rereads if one is into rereads, especially like I've been, this is the Keisha series, and it's a series that I read when I was a teenager, and the author, Amelia Atwater Rhodes, is largely who I attribute me believing that I could be an author to. And then like I weirdly felt like I grew up with her career, because I was when I read the books, I was the age she was when she wrote the books. So I just read it, and like when I'm reading the Keisha series and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, like the series is so good. There's so much world, like there's just so much lore and everything, and it's like I read it and I just want more. I want more of the characters. I want more scenes. I want more of the world building and stuff. And like these books are tiny. I'm like, this feels like a thick synopsis or summary of what the story could be, and like not in a bad way, like in a really good way, right? Because the story that is told is still satisfying. I just also want more. And I'm like, that's what I want to achieve as well, is to like have that. And going back and rereading books that I've already read and stuff, and kind of like remembering what I enjoyed about them, and then like, you know, what about them may have inspired me, or really like rereading the Den of Shadows series, I'm like, oh, I see Sam's influences, right? Like I see why I do certain things, or where I may have gotten other things and stuff. I just like, I advise to be kind to yourself when you reread older books, because I know like a lot of people, they'll be hesitant to reread old like books and stuff that they loved when they were younger, because they're like a writer now. And I'm like, well, still read it like a reader then. Don't read it like a writer. Just read it like a reader and be like, I liked this at some point. There has to be a reason that I liked it. So yeah. All Little Women was that book for me that made me believe I could be an author. I remember nothing about Little Women, but I know I read it and I really liked it. I'm writing down some of these names of the books you're saying because I haven't read them. Well, I linked this, which is the document where we put all of our favorites for the Year of Favorites readathon. And so you can go in there if you want and check it out. There's also a link to the Discord server in there if you want to go to the server. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was actually, I think, whose pick was that? Was that Spencer's pick? Who picked that one? Oh, that was Min's pick for recent favorite books. So that was why I don't do Discord. I know I was saying in general, but that's also why I Googled the link. I sent the Google Doc. Ah, gotcha. Well, oh, there you go. Okay, cool. Oh, I misunderstood. You mean it didn't load? Yeah, you got to go to the other tab. I thought you were just like, no, none of those books are interesting. Yeah. But all right, I am going to go ahead and load out, sign off, end the stream because I can't think of phrases anymore. But it was fun. Thank you all for hanging with me. I got done what I needed to get done. I hope you guys had a good time and got some stuff done. Oh, Lynn, I had you playing in the background while I was packing, so I couldn't easily comment, but thank you for sharing my Year of Favorites readathon, Sam. You're my number one and only ambassador. You're welcome, Lynn. Hey, I've been exposed to so many good books through this thing, so I'm not sure how you would do another one next year, but I hope you do. All right. Well, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.